name is Vern. Join the channel. We cover JW World News and we give you the rest of the story. Today, we're going to the Watchtower and we have lives on Tuesday nights and Saturdays and an excellent community. So join the channel and watch as we crash into the Watchtower. Here it is, I see it coming. Woo! Join us as we report in on the Watchtower. Welcome back. Today we have a very interesting topic. My good wife puts these topics up, by the way. But anyways, I told you guys, what was it? We ran that silo crumbling, watchtowers falling. The tower is falling, and we're going to prove it today. But I want to show you one scripture to qualify all this. It's there's nothing that's going on that we're doing it. You know, we manifest. We've talked about manifesting on this channel, and you know, we all want to see justice, right? Now, if there's a loving God or a loving ruler, wouldn't the loving ruler want to see justice for the people? I think so. Well, let's look at this. I'm going to, like I say, qualify this a bit. And I'm going to use the Watchtower Bible. We have this, it's from Matthew. It's a Watchtower Bible, according to Matthew 28. And right at the end, this is like the last part of Matthew that he said, or Jesus, and the Gospels of Jesus, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So Jesus approached, and he spoke to them, and he said, "All authority has been given me in heaven and on earth." Right there. And I pulled up the little side scriptures, and it just brings that up, that it says, "For this very reason," Philippians, it's one of the cross references, it says, "For this very reason, God exalted him to a superior position and kindly gave him the name that is above every other name." So Jesus here is given the earth. Jesus is in charge. So I guess we have to agree on that to move forward. Now, when you're Jehovah's Witness, it's always Jehovah's going to do this, and well, Jehovah's going to bring judgment, and well, Jehovah did all those things. He did all those things over when he was ruling Israel, right? But now it's all given to Jesus. Jehovah's not in the picture anymore. But yet, as a Jehovah's Witness, they like to make it all about Jehovah still. And if you were in charge of a company, and you're put in charge, if you're put in charge of the earth, you know, let's say God's has a whole universe up there and planets all over the place, and it would be narcissistic for us to believe and think that we're it, that we're the only ones. Now, I know Jehovah's Witnesses did talk about that for a period of time. But it's a different mindset when we think now, okay, Jesus is in charge. It's given to Jesus. Now, here's a religion on earth that is not directing people to Jesus, to the ruler of the earth, and directing people to look elsewhere. Look at the Old Testament. Look at the old Yahwehism stuff, which is about sacrifice. That's Jesus has to look down and see this stuff. So it makes you wonder, you know, we talk about the tower crumbling. We all know it's just a matter of time, but none of us know how it's going to happen. I didn't know it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, but let's say it's going to happen in a manner that it doesn't affect anybody else on the planet. And a superpower, like a God or a Jesus figure ruling, would have that ability. Would he not? You know, we see in the Old Testament where there was a lot of sacrifice, a lot of women, innocent women and children that got killed. But in the New Testament, that doesn't seem to be the Jesus that I know. Jesus is about love. So maybe it is. Let's look in. This is just how I'm looking at this. Now we're going all the way to this little example in Brazil, in the middle of Brazil. This little example, and I'm going to click on this. This is the Kingdom Hall here. You see the Kingdom Hall? So in this little town, and you can look all around this little town here. You see there's telephone poles, there's telephone lines, and there's that tower, right there. There's that little Kingdom Hall, and there's this whole town here. Okay, and we're going to take a look at the next picture. The next picture is here. The tower cannot resist strong wind, collapses, and destroys the Kingdom Hall. They call it a church in Gaia. And there it is. There's the Kingdom Hall that you've seen. Now, no one got hurt. No one was in the Kingdom Hall, but it's completely destroyed. This here, and we're going to look at a little video here. And this little video shows, you see the telephone poles, the telephone lines. Notice none of them are wrecked. Yeah, there's the collapse. You see the telephone lines aren't even wrecked. It's just that tower fell on the Kingdom Hall. See that whole telephone pole? Nothing's wrecked there. Right there, yeah. This looks real, you know. So there it is. It just fell over the Kingdom Hall in the parking lot. Now he's driving along there looking at it. There's just that front part there. There's the tower. There's where it was. I guess it knocked that out, and that's it. So that's that article. So it's interesting what's going on in this little town here in the middle of Brazil. Could this be a message to the Watchtower? Well, what else is happening in the world, folks? We're going to go all the way over to Australasia. We're going to go to Sydney and take a look there. This is the Australasia branch office of Jehovah's Witnesses. And you notice their little cartoon, there's 108 photos, comes up when you look at this on Google now. They did a lot of work. So we're going to put me back on the screen. Now, when you plug in Australasia into the internet, what comes up? And it says in early June of 23, Australasia branch of Watchtower Society filed for legal action. So they're fighting the courts down there for Jehovah's Witnesses to be exempt from the Royal Commission of the Inquiry into abuse of care, investigation into the sexual abuse of others by faith-based institutions. So the Watchtower is the only ones that are holding out and saying, we don't care for children. We ran some videos on that. And some of the videos we ran were this one, of this lady here that was abused, and Diane Lynn. She's waiting for an apology. Didn't get one yet. They don't think they have anything to be sorry for. And now they've fought the courts, the judicial review, the Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. The Royal Commission confirms that the Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, Australasia Limited, has filed an application for judicial review. And they're arguing that it's outside the scope of the Royal Commission's terms of reference. They want the church seeks declarations from the High Court that the Jehovah's Witnesses do not assume responsibility for the care of children. Did you get that? So they're suing the court, and they say, we do not want liability for the care of children, young people, or vulnerable people in New Zealand, and there's no instance of abuse by Jehovah's Witness faith within the scope of the inquiry based on the evidence before the Royal Commission, together with several other declarations about the Royal Commission's process. This is verbatim. This is not apostates talking. This is from the government websites. This is Abuse and Care, Royal Commission of Inquiry, word for word. This is what's going on in Australasia. Let's look at what this fella seeks. I'm going to put him up on the bigger screen here and make sure his audio's turned on. Okay, let's listen in here.
What this means to me today, and probably many thousands of others, is the Crown's opportunity to take responsibility for the terrible way they've conducted themselves over many, many decades, which has led to the scale of this tragedy. Also, I'm very much hoping what will come out of this will be a firm and genuine commitment to working with survivors to see there's no repetition of what has occurred historically. And unfortunately, what we still have is unacceptable rates of abuse occurring now. It's very, very important to honour the memory of those who have not made it. And it's also a very, very big thing for family and whānau of those who did not survive. It's a very, very big occasion, which has taken a very, very long time to come about. And it is extremely important that significant change comes from it. I'm a little bit emotional to see the Crown representatives who have opposed us so bitterly at times over many decades to be asked searching questions of their conduct. I know how much trauma that has caused me personally over the years. And now, like many, many other survivors, I want to hear answers.
Well, I think the people are speaking, and I think it's time that they get the answers. And this is right off the press. This article, I'll put a link to it. This is brand new, October 12th, 2023. Jehovah's Witnesses care outside scope of abuse inquiry, court told. This is all about Jehovah's Witnesses, folks. All about Jehovah's Witnesses. This is in Australasia. And they're fighting the courts tooth and nail. They're the only ones. And they say we don't care for children. So now, I want to, going back to, I told you the tower's crumbling, and I'm not in charge. We just have these ideas, these suppositions, we look around and we see what's going on. But we know who's in charge, not Jehovah. Jehovah's not in charge. You're right, Christ Jesus. We have to start talking about this properly as ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, because it's not what the Bible teaches. Jehovah's Witnesses teach that Jehovah's running the show and he's down here running things, and that's not the case. So what's going on? Why are Jehovah's Witnesses not seeing this? I don't know. But here's what's going on. I was looking at their Australasia branch. This is the annual meeting. This is the review, and they're highlighting the Australasia, this whole Jesus site that they're building down there in Sydney. So let's see what's going on this site. Let's listen in.
He stopped. We did wonder how we were going to be able to produce this video in the timeframes that we needed to do so.
We had to pick and choose which scenes that we had to shoot first, because construction was trying to keep up with our film schedule. So trying to manage those two together was quite difficult.
Okay, I had to rewind it a bit here. So we're going to try this again. So notice he's going to talk about some issues they're having. So what's going on? Why in Australasia all these issues? Here it is.
It's going to make such a difference. They're going to see Jesus, what he was truly like. It's going to affect hearts, and it's really going to help them to see Jehovah as well.
As we've been working with the Good News According to Jesus project, we've run into a few challenges, to say the least.
Right from the start, we had fires, we've had floods, we've had a pandemic.
Due to a number of restrictions that were taking place at the time, things were delayed. There even came a point where it just completely stopped.
We did wonder how we were going to be able to produce this video in the timeframes that we needed to do so.
Okay, so you got that. They had fire, they had floods, they had all these problems on this thing. It sounds like the 10 plagues. You know, nothing's going smooth here. They did get through, and they talk about, brag about how they were able to shoot a few scenes. Now, we're going to be reporting more on this as time rolls on and as they complete this theme park. My question is, are they going to open it to the public? Are they going to have tours? Like, I can guarantee you there's 8.5 million Jehovah's Witnesses all around the world. They're going to come with family and children. And you tell me, is this a facility that doesn't care for children? How can they sign off on that? This facility, as a religious organization, they're getting all kinds of grant money. That's the way our governments are set up and our countries are set up. As long as they qualify for a religious charity, there's millions of dollars of grant money here, and you can be guaranteed that they're talking about opening this up to the community and having the community come in. So now Australasia has Jehovah's Witnesses on the radar, on the highlight. It's all this investigation since the 2015 Australian Review, Royal Commission. All of this other stuff is happening all over Australasia. And so it's going to be interesting to see what takes place. So I hate to Jehovah's Witnesses this back at them, but I don't know. It seems to me that the Jehovah's Witnesses all over the world, the organization, they're going to be experiencing trouble. They've had so many troubles in Ramapo to get that whole project off the ground. It's going to be interesting to see what comes next. So folks, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and we will keep you abreast with what's happening. And until next time, keep living your life with love. Bye for now.